Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe. I did not watch the game today, which is probably a good thing. The Mets lost 5-0 to the lowly Marlins. But I was not able to watch it. I was working, but I was listening to it here and there. A couple sort of feeling for it. It was just basically a blah game. Ugh, lousy game. Mets had no offense. They didn't get a hit to the sixth inning. And really, it was very cold out. And that's pretty much it. That's the story. But no, a couple of things. Tyler McGill struggled with his command. Pitched only 4 innings. I know he threw a lot of pitches in the first inning. I know he threw a lot of pitches in the first 2 innings. And that basically put him behind the 8 ball. And whenever you pitch poorly in terms of your command, it puts your fielders on their heels. And that's probably why Brett Beatty, who now is putting himself in a very precarious position now in the major leagues, in that not only is he not hitting, but he's also starting to make errors. Okay? I had a big error in that 5th inning that really set up the whole game. That's pretty much the game right there. But when you're out in the cold, standing out in the cold, your starter's not throwing strike. He's laboring. I mean, guys have found pitches off. This is a typical Tyler McGill kind of start when you don't have it. Where he struggles with the strike zone, struggles with his command, and can't get a hold of himself. And then you are back on your heels. Now, Beatty's now hitting 111. Looking at the bottom of this lineup, folks, this is very troublesome. And Jeff McNeil and Francisco Alvarez cannot get back here fast enough. Now, I know Alvarez had gotten some at-bats tonight on Wednesday night, so he's getting close to being ready, and Jeff McNeil's getting close to being ready. I will say this, Hayden Sanger's done a good job. He didn't have a good game today with the bat, but he's done a very good job. We're going through the pitching before we get back to the lineup. Pitching. Like I said, Tyler McGill lost his first game of the year. Now, he usually pitches really well in April, but obviously struggling with his command as usual. But they brought in Max Kranick. Where this guy came from, guy's just getting outs after outs after outs. And Ryan Stanton came in the game. Bond came in the game. But Edwin Diaz had a bad game, and partially because he wasn't closing the game out. Usually these closers do not pitch well when the game's not on the line. Obviously the game was on the line, but he needed to get them into the 9th inning to give them a shot, because they were going to have Lindor, Soto, and Alonso to finish out the game with those top 3, and he did not give him a chance to win. And he pitched poorly in this game. Just to go through it, he threw a lot of pitches, 30 pitches. Good thing the Mets are off tomorrow. And then they had to go to Danny Young, to get it, to sort of save his bacon. But he did not. His line is pretty bad. And there's always walks with Edwin's games. When he can't get anybody out, there's always 1 or 2 walks in the middle of all that, whatever messy inning he's pitching. But to go through this lineup, the top 3 have been playing really well. Been excellent, really. Lindor's had another hit. Juan Soto was quiet today, but he's getting his hits. He's getting on base. He's doing what he has to do. And obviously, Pete Alonso has been doing great. He's hit over 300, an OPS of over 1,000. So he's had a great start, 15 RBIs and 3 home runs. But this middle of this lineup scares me right now, because Nimmo, he's driven in some runs here or there, but he's hitting 200. He's going to come around at some point. Vientos has had better at-bats, but he's hitting 119. Brett Beatty hitting 111. They played Tyrone Taylor today, and he's hitting 154. He's had some good at-bats, but that batting average is low. It's tough to sort of go through this lineup right now and complain about the batting averages, because if this was in the middle of the season, you probably wouldn't notice it so much. And then saying what sitting 222. But the biggest concern with this lineup is you can't have Vientos and Beatty out together in the lineup. They can't be in the lineup together. So that means Beatty's got to sit all the time. I'm not a big fan of him. I've said this before. I know he had a big error in this game. It probably wasn't his fault. Like I said, when you're waiting on your heels, waiting for the guy to throw strikes, you're really screwed. You're in really bad shape. But Beatty is now at a point to when the Mets bring back Jeff McNeil, he's going to be gone. And if Luis and Acuna doesn't turn it around, he'll be going out the door too. And they'll bring in some veteran middle infielder that doesn't play much, like Donovan Walton, to be the extra guy on the bench. These young guys got to hit and to stay here. And people keep saying, well, Beatty's in between. He's not in between. Okay? I saw that today. I saw Todd Heel say it. Todd Zeal say that today. I guess when I was going home from work. I think I saw a clip. I was reading something. And he said that he's hitting in between. No, Todd. He's not any good. Okay? There's no in between here. He can't catch up to a fastball. His bat is not as fast as yours was when you played. I've seen this now for 3 years. The bat's just not fast enough. It's just not fast enough. Guys can tell you if they can hit. Players can tell you if they can hit. And he fouls too many pitches off to the left side. He swings through too many good fastballs. Fastballs that are down the middle that he swings through, and stuff that he should be crushing if he had a fast bat. The bat is just too slow. And I know he is a guy, he's a pretty hard worker, but he's just not a major league player. Sorry. And the Mets invested so much in him, making him a #1 pick and all that. But, you get to the majors that they'll we'll see who can hit and who can't hit. And this kid can't hit. I'm sorry. And we've seen quite a few guys come down the road over the last few years. Guys their bats were just not fast. J.D. Davis was one of them, whose bat wasn't fast enough. Dom Smith's bat was just not fast enough. Beatty's swing and is probably slower than Dom Smith's, and that's saying a lot. It's really saying a lot. But that's just how it is, And to say that he's in between, he's not in between. He's just not that good. Sorry, But anyway, so this week the Mets will be in Oakland, and they go to Minnesota. Oakland, what are you talking about? There's no Oakland anymore. They're homeless. The Athletics are homeless. What am I talking about? They are a homeless team. And we'll have some fun at their expense. With the Philadelphia, Kansas City, here we come. Oakland, Las Vegas, don't call them Sacramento Athletics. I would again mention that Gary Cohen mentioned the Philadelphia, Kansas City, Oakland A's, which I thought was interesting because I do nothing but say that here when I mention the homeless A's. I'm waiting for him to call them homeless. Once he calls them homeless, then I know that's 100% sure that Gary's watching. I know Gary watches, just based off of that. I know that the great Mike Breen does too, because of what he said about the Mets being America's team. And they are America's team, and you know it, and I know it, that they're America's team. But, so the Mets, I believe they'll be going up against Luis Severino this weekend, so that'll be interesting. He certainly made a lot of money for himself off a year where he was able to stay healthy last year for the Mets, and he's made a lot of money. He's making a lot of money, $75 million for this year. The A's do have some talent. We saw that last year. They beat up on the Mets pretty good when they were home here at Citi Field. They do have a good lineup. They got Butler and a few other guys that can hit. Those guys can hit. And I know they haven't played as well as I think they should. It doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to have a bad year. And, of course, we'll see how that series goes. The Mets always struggle in Oakland when they played them there, and they always struggle playing against the A's even at home. So that's going to be a battle for whatever reason. The A's always give the Mets their best effort when they play them. And then they go to Minnesota. We'll get to see Carlos Correa and his bad foot. And that's going to be super ass cold there. And then the Mets come home and play the St. Louis Cardinals. ancient enemy of the New York Mets, and we'll see how that goes. But you let me know what you think about this video, and of course, please subscribe to the baseball. I'll see you later.